Hello, Adrienne Grace, mindset and high performance coach. Wanted to come on today to talk about goals and goal setting. So, you may have heard me talk about just wanting to do more of these lives because I really enjoy teaching and sharing a lot of the material that I work with my clients with. So I am committed to coming on here at least once a week and talk about some of these things. But I think goal setting is really appropriate for this time of year. Everyone's setting their goals or their resolutions. Some people may have already deviated from their resolutions already and kind of dropped them off. So I want to talk about really how to set the right types of goals that truly inspire you and are coming from your heart, that are going to move you into action and inspire you to take action and really give you the best chance to succeed. Oftentimes we set goals in the beginning of the year and then they're forgotten about by February. And it's because we're not setting the right types. So there's actually 3 different types of goals. I call them the practical, the stretch, and the OMG. So a practical goal is something that you already know how to do. So an example of that would be, say, you bought a new car 5 years ago and you want to buy another new car, but you've already done that once, so there's absolutely 0 growth attached to it. You already know that you did it, or maybe it's that you gained 10 pounds, you want to lose 10 pounds. Those are more like tasks, really. Uh, they're not stretching us in any way. And something I like to say too is that a goal isn't for us to get, it's to grow. Okay, it's like to draw something out from inside of us to bring out more of our potential. And it's more about who we become on our way to achieving it. So, setting those practical goals just are not inspiring. They're not coming from deep within us. They're just, again, more like a task than it is a goal. Then there's the stretch goals. And that's what I find most people set. That was actually what I was setting for most of my life before I learned about this material. But a stretch goal is something that you think that you can do and think that you can achieve. So you think, okay, well, if X, Y, and Z were to happen, I'll be able to do this. So maybe that's buying your dream house or becoming the top salesperson or making $1 million, something that you haven't done before, but you just know that, if you work really hard or land a big client or something happens, that you'll be able to achieve it. So again, the practical is what you know that you can do. The stretch is what you think you can do. And those are mostly based off of needs, things that we need in life. Okay. But the OMG goals, those are our desires and they're our heart's desires. They're unique to us. They're really things that we want to do, have, be in life, and they come from effective use of our imagination. But that's where the problem lies, is that most of us don't use our imagination, right? We kind of just don't even know what we want, because any glimpse of things that we would want, we just shut them down when we think it's unrealistic. As kids, we would use our imagination all the time, but we were taught to kind of temper those dreams down, basically, right? You would get yelled at if you were daydreaming out the window during class, or, maybe your parents would laugh at you if you were imagining something. So we just kind of stopped using our imagination, but our imagination is so, so important. It's where we, again, kind of come up with these OMG goals, our heart's desires. And I truly believe that we're never given a goal or a vision that we don't have the capacity to fulfill. So if you have a desire, if you have a dream or something that's come to you, it is because it is yours for the taking. Okay. You just need to have the courage to go after it. So a great way to start to try to find that OMG goal, because most people that I encounter and I start working with, they don't even know what they want, right? Because we're so disconnected to that part of us. We're all kind of a lot of times on this path of things that we think we should be doing. And we don't allow ourselves to dream, and we don't allow ourselves to really want what we want. So a great place to start is just making a list. And I tell everybody to just write on the top of the list, what would I love? So think about this year, for example, like what would you love to accomplish this year? What would you love to have done by the end of the year? How would you love to spend your days? What would you love to be doing? And just write that list. Don't give any thought to how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or whatever, or just if it's realistic or not. Just completely focus on the love, right? What would you love? uh, that starts getting us into the energy of our heart. And when we come up with those things, there's so much more inspiration behind it, because it really is like a unique goal to us. Um, and and that is what moves us into action. That's what propels us forward. That's what helps us gain momentum on that. Most of the time, we're picking those practical or stretch goals and there's zero inspiration behind it. And so they're easily forgotten about or given up. You know, you hit one little bump in a road and it's just forgotten about. So we need something that's really going to inspire us, that's going to truly light us up inside. So that's why you have to go for those OMG goals, those like big, beautiful goals that are going to spring you out of bed in the morning. And even if you have a business goal this year that you really want to achieve, well, just kind of think about the underlying why, right? Why do you want to achieve that? It's not really just to hit that number, but what's the why? Like, what would it mean for you in your life? What would it mean for your family? What would it mean for your lifestyle? Just really start coming up with that why, right? Find that underlying why. Just keep asking yourself, well, why? Then why? Then why? Go deeper and deeper into that why, because that'll get you more connected to your heart, right? Just saying like, oh, I want to be the top salesperson, or I want to do, um, you know, $5 million in production or whatever it is. Those numbers are great, but why do you want that? Okay. Like, let's get to the heart of it, right? Let's get to why you're really going after that. So those are just a couple tips on how to give yourself a really big goal that's going to excite you and light you up inside. And once you know that why, the action towards it becomes so much easier. Okay, because you realize that like the day-to-day stuff that you have to do for that uh, is because you're working towards this big goal. And I'll say too, the once you have, that list of your wants of what you would love, okay? Maybe like pick one to go after. And there's two questions to ask yourself. One is, am I able? Am I able to do this? And the answer to that should just be an automatic yes, right? We are infinite beings with infinite amounts of potential inside of us, just dying to come out. We are spiritual beings. Spirit is always for expansion and more and grander. And that is our purpose here on this planet, right? Is to always be growing, always be evolving into that fullest, best version of ourselves. So, yes, 100% you are able. Then ask yourself, am I willing? Now, that's the important question, okay? Because are you willing to go after it? Are you willing to do what it takes to achieve that goal, right? Are you willing to make some sacrifices? Are you willing to not care what people think about you, to go against society, to maybe you'll have to downsize things for a little while? Or like, again, make some compromises. Maybe you're going to have to like give up one part of your life, or maybe you're going to have to give up some sleep, right? Maybe you'll have to wake up an hour or two earlier to work on this goal. So just ask yourself, am I willing? So once you say you're willing, it goes from just that dream, just like a pipe dream or a fantasy, to a goal. Okay. And once we make that decision, that's where it all starts. Nothing happens until we make a decision to go for something. And when we make a powerful decision that we're going to go after something, it is just, it sends a signal to your subconscious mind that you're serious about this. It opens like the gates to opportunities that we never saw before. It really just is the key to everything, is just deciding that this is your year and that this is what you're going to go for. Okay. I can't stress that enough. Nothing happens until a decision is made. So just make that decision that this is what you're going for. And then get connected to that why every day. Okay. So again, like, once you have that OMG goal, you have your purpose, your why as to why you're going for it, spend some time in that end result every day. Really think about it. Think about how you would feel once this is accomplished, right? Playing your imagination, start exercising it again. It's a muscle. It's there for us to use. It's one of our higher faculties that, as far as we know, no other living creature on earth even has. So let's use it, right? Imagine how you would feel once that goal is achieved. So, those are just a couple steps on creating that goal that is truly going to inspire you and give you the best chances for success in 2023. Another great thing to do is public accountability. So, if you want to share what your goal is, I would absolutely love to hear it. And that also helps you stick to it, right? Public accountability, because we let ourselves down easily, right? It's easy for us to not keep commitments and promises that we make to ourselves, but once we make things public, it holds us accountable. So would love to hear what your goal is, and if you have any other thoughts on goal achieving for 2023. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week.